You looked at the calendar today and felt something small go cold. It's almost the end of the year again. Wasn't it just spring? You're not imagining it. But the real reason is far stranger than it feels. Somewhere after 30, the years stop behaving. They used to be long. A single summer as a child could hold entire worlds. Now, a whole year can pass and leave barely a fingerprint, gone before you finish getting used to writing the date. You've probably blamed the obvious things. You're busier now. You're tired. You have responsibilities that eat the hours. And those things are real, but they are not what's stealing your years. Here is the truth. The years are not getting shorter. Your brain is compressing them. There are two forces doing this. Both are real. Both have been understood in pieces for well over 100 years. And once you see them clearly, you get something back that feels almost impossible. You get a way to slow time down again. Let's start with the first force. It's a matter of simple proportion. Think about how old you are right now. Then think about how much 1 year really is, measured against all the years you've already lived. When you were 1 year old, that single year was your entire life. It was everything. When you were 2, a year was half of all the time you'd ever known. At 10, a year was a tenth of your existence. Still huge, still a season you could feel stretching out ahead of you. Now do the math on today. At 40, 1 year is a 40th of your life. A thin sliver. A slice so small it barely registers against the great thick stack of years behind it. The 19th century thinker Paul Janet described exactly this idea, that the length of a stretch of time feels relative to how much life you've already lived. Each year you add gets measured against a larger and larger total, so each one feels proportionally smaller than the last. To a 5-year-old, the wait until next Christmas is an eternity because it's a fifth of everything they've ever experienced. To you, next Christmas is a rounding error. Same 12 months, wildly different wait. This is real, and it explains part of the feeling. But it isn't the whole story. Because proportion alone would make time slow to a smooth, gentle fade. And that's not quite what this feels like, is it? It feels sharper than that. Some years vanish completely, while others, further back, still feel enormous. Proportion can't explain that. Something else is going on. And this second force is the powerful one. Your brain does not measure time the way a clock does. A clock counts seconds, evenly, forever. Your brain doesn't care about seconds. When you look back and ask how long a stretch of time was, your brain does something else entirely. It counts memories. It counts how much new, distinct stuff happened. The psychologist William James wrote about this more than a century ago in his great work on how the mind works. He noticed that a period packed with new experiences feels long when you look back on it, while a stretch of empty routine collapses into almost nothing. Time in memory isn't measured in hours, it's measured in firsts. Now think about being a child. Almost everything was a first. The first time you rode a bike, the first day at a new school, the first time you saw the sea, tasted something strange, learned to swim, made a friend, lost one. Your young brain was drinking in novelty every single day, laying down dense, vivid, brand new memories on top of each other. And when you look back, all that density reads as length. That's why your childhood summers feel like they lasted years. Your brain has a thick, crowded record of them. So it reports back. That was a very long time. Now think about a typical week for you now. You wake up at the same time, take the same route, see the same faces, do work that resembles yesterday's work, eat familiar food, scroll the same screens, go to sleep, and here's the quiet trap. When today is nearly identical to yesterday, your brain doesn't bother writing a new, separate memory for it. Why would it? Nothing changed. It just files today under same as usual and moves on. So a routine year, a year where you did roughly what you did the year before, leaves your brain almost nothing new to store. And a year with nothing new stored in it is a year that, in memory, barely happened. That's the strange, slightly haunting core of it. It isn't only that the year went fast while you lived it. Day to day, it probably felt ordinary, even slow in places. It's that when you turn around to look at it, there's almost nothing there. No landmarks, no firsts. Just a smooth gray blur where 12 months should be. Your brain compressed the whole thing down to a single file because so little of it was worth keeping separate. This is why the years seem to accelerate as you get older. Not because time speeds up, because life gets more predictable, and predictable time is invisible to memory. There's a curious twist hiding inside this, and it's worth noticing. The days that feel the fastest in memory are often the ones that felt the slowest while you were in them. A dull, repetitive afternoon drags on forever as you live it, then leaves no trace and vanishes. A rich, novel day flies by in the moment, then unpacks into something huge when you look back. Boredom is long to live and short to remember. Novelty is short to live and long to remember. Your childhood didn't feel fast while it happened. It only became enormous in the looking back. Why does novelty do this? Because new things demand your attention, and attention is what carves a memory deep. When something is unfamiliar, your brain leans in. It notices details. It works harder to make sense of what's in front of it, and all that extra effort gets written down richly. When something is familiar, your brain relaxes and runs on autopilot, barely recording a thing. Novelty is simply what wakes your attention up. An awaking attentive brain is a brain that's laying down time. Let that land for a second, because it changes everything about what comes next. If the missing years aren't lost to time, if they're lost to sameness, then the problem isn't your age at all, it's your routine. And routine is not a law of physics. Routine is a habit, and habits can change. Here's the counterintuitive part. You don't slow down time by having more hours. You can't get more hours. You slow it down by giving your brain more to remember, by feeding it novelty, by making enough of your days distinct enough that they refuse to be filed under same as usual. This is why a single week somewhere new can feel longer in your memory than the 2 ordinary months before it. Think about the last time you went somewhere unfamiliar. Those days felt full. They stretched. Not slow and boring, but rich, dense, packed with texture. And when you came home and looked back, that short trip occupied more space in your memory than whole seasons of your regular life. That's the whole effect, running in the direction you actually want. Novelty made time expand. Your brain didn't record the days. It recorded the differences. Give it more differences and you get more life back. Not in hours, but in the only place that counts when you look back. Your memory of having lived them. And the beautiful thing is how small the differences can be. You don't have to quit your job or fly across the world. You have to interrupt the autopilot. Take a different route home and actually look at it. Cook something you've never made. Call the person you keep meaning to call. Say yes to the thing you'd normally decline. Learn one clumsy new skill you're bad at. Sit somewhere new. Talk to a stranger. Break a single loop. Each of those is a small flag your brain plants in the ground. A marker that says something happened here. This day was not like the others. And enough flags turn a blurred, vanished year back into a year you can feel the length of. You already know this is true because you've lived the proof. The years you remember as long were never the comfortable ones. They were the years you moved, changed jobs, fell in love, started over, went somewhere frightening and new. Upheaval feels endless while it's happening and vast when you look back. Comfort feels easy while it's happening and disappears the moment it's over. Your most memorable years were rarely your most peaceful ones. They were your most novel ones. None of this means you have to live in constant chaos. It means the speed of your life is not fixed. It's a dial. And you have a hand on it. So here's what's really happening when a year slips past you and leaves nothing behind. It's not proof that your life is draining away. It's a message. It's your own memory telling you that too many of your days have started to look the same and quietly asking you for something new to hold on to. The clock was never the enemy. The clock has always ticked at exactly the same speed, for the child and for you, one steady second at a time. What changed is how much of that time you bothered to truly live, to mark, to make different enough to keep. You can't add hours to your life, but you can add life to your hours. You can make this year impossible for your brain to compress. You can fill it with enough small firsts that when you turn around next December, it's still there, thick and long and unmistakably lived. You looked at the calendar today and felt something small go cold. Now you know it wasn't time running out. It was only your brain asking you to wake up and give it something new to remember.